For the past 10 years, each graduation class has been composed of an average of 400 students. These students bring their friends, family, and extended family to the graduation ceremony. 3,000 people, including the 425 graduates, are expected to attend this ceremony in the South Gym, where it has always been conducted. Activities Director John Morrow said in an article in the December 14th issue of the Thunderbeat that our bleachers were non-compliant with the district safety code. Bellevue West replaced these bleachers in October 2018. Although these bleachers are more up to date, according to Morrow, the South Gym lost over 300 seats for sporting events and graduation.
Graduation here is awful because when you get here, you have to get here like an hour or two early just to like get a spot for the past couple of graduations that I've gone to. And the line literally reaches all the way to the back of the parking lot, which is ridiculous. And you're standing there for like an hour and a half just to get a seat. Graduation itself, it's jam-packed. You're sitting hip by hip with people, and I don't understand why we can't do the Baxter, because apparently when I talked to some other people, the Baxter Arena is open on a Sunday, but nobody wants to do a Sunday. It's not like it matters, we're all leaving.
Graduation was already packed the way it was before, and taking away that many seats is gonna make it even more difficult. And I know we offer things like watching it online or going into the auditorium, but it's not the same as being there in the crowd. The loss of these seats does impact me because I have a big family because my family is divorced, so I have my mom's side and my dad's side, and then all my friends who want to see me graduate as well. And so they all don't want to come here at 5 a.m. and so it's gonna be hard for them to all come and see me graduate.
I have family flying in to come see my graduation. I have kind of a smaller family, but they're kind of like older people, so they kind of need some space to be by themselves. They like their own seat and everything, and you're sitting literally hip by hip with people for over the last 2 graduations that I've been to.
We could do one of 3 things. We could give out tickets and keep it in the gym, so everybody has the fair chance of having their family members or friends here. Or we could have it on the football field, but it's May in Nebraska, so nobody knows if it's gonna rain or not. Or we can move it somewhere else, like the Baxter Arena or the Ralston Arena or someplace like that. I know it probably won't get resolved for our graduation, but maybe the next years to come they can figure out a better solution to the problem.
As a parent of a student this year who's graduating, and I think about the loss of seats, there's never been enough seats for everybody who wants to come and celebrate. And so losing almost 400 additional seats is a big hit. And so as a parent, it just makes me nervous about making sure that our family is gonna be able to see it because he's the first graduate, on different sides. And I know that that's the feeling that a lot of other families are going to have, making sure that they have a seat for their family members who want to come and celebrate. As a teacher, my feelings aren't that much different. I feel very much that as many people that could come and want to come and celebrate should be able to do that. I think it's an issue that we don't have enough seating, and it has been an issue for a long time, where we have to put people in the auditorium, which is obviously not a great option. In terms of solutions within the building, I don't know what those would be. And I'm not sure where the district is on why we continue to have it at our building when our facilities aren't adequate for the size of the event. I think that there are lots of other ways that schools have accommodated larger crowds, and I as a parent, I wish that we would explore those, and I know other parents do too. But as a teacher, I understand that we've got budget constraints and other things, and some people feel really strongly that the child's education should end in the school where they started. They're 4 years in high school, and so they have an emotional attachment to that. While I understand that, I think it's more valuable for there to be seating. I will watch graduation in the auditorium. I will do what I have to do to make sure that we have seats. But as a teacher, because I work in the school, I know how this works a little bit, as opposed to somebody whose child is graduating for the first time. They could be taken aback by the number of people who'll be waiting in line that morning. But I will ensure that we have seats in the auditorium.
The loss of 370 seats in the gym will have an effect on graduation. It does make things a little bit tighter.
I think anytime we're talking about graduation and seating, that the capacity of the gym is an issue that we have to be thinking about and address it the best way we possibly can, as long as it is here at Bellevue West.
We'll do the same as we've done in years past. When we meet with the seniors, we'll really encourage seniors to invite the family members that truly want to come to graduation and allow the other family members to stay home and just get ready for the graduation parties afterwards. We are looking at possibly purchasing another set of bleachers that we may be able to put in that back corner by the mezzanine opposite the stage, which would allow us to get a few more people in there. We're improving the video to the auditorium, so we're hoping that we'll be able to get everybody in a spot where they'll be able to see.
When we were redoing the bleachers and talks of graduation came up, it was definitely a topic. But those bleachers, our hand was forced in terms of why we had to replace them. We had motors that had gone out. We had to pull them out one by one. They were extremely heavy. We were not able to tie all the bleachers together, so it was a real safety issue. Plus, they were out of code, and so we had no handrails. We've had people fall down those bleachers in the past because of no handrails. So we were really forced to have to get new bleachers, and I think the benefit is they're much safer. They're much easier on a custodial staff to get in and out, so there are definitely some benefits there. They look nicer. They're going to last a long time. The drawback is we have lost some seating, and so we have to get creative in terms of how we're going to add that seating back in for big events like graduation.
The implementation of the new bleachers definitely did play a role in our planning for graduation, just because of the loss of the seats. So we're looking to squeeze things a little bit tighter. One of the things that we are going to do this year is we'll be able to do the video screen on the scoreboard. So it does remove the need for a big projector on the floor, which allows us to move everything forward about 2 more rows, which allows us to put 2 rows in the back for additional seating. We have considered having graduation at other venues, including Baxter Arena. We've looked at those. I've got a whole list of reasons why it doesn't make sense for us to move. Baxter Arena really doesn't seat much more than what our gym does, because in the arena you got to take out one whole end of the bowl because that's where your stage is. They've got a lot less parking than what we have, and we're paying $4,000 to $5,000 to rent. You really lose the formality of graduation and once you get in there, because they got the concession stands open, you got beer signs hanging everywhere, and it just becomes more like a concert than the formality of graduation. We've looked at going outside. I've kept track of the weather for the last 15 years, and there's about 1/3 of the time the weather would be conducive to going outside, and the rest of it would be rainy or too cool. If we go somewhere else, we probably wouldn't be able to do our senior video or the video that runs before graduation. You're limited as to how much you can decorate, and you really don't get a chance to practice. So everybody shows up, and you got to just figure it out as you go. It's just really nice, I think, for seniors to have one last event in their home gym. When you step into that gym on graduation day and it's packed floor to ceiling people, that's a pretty cool feeling.